Yo, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to use today's example to show why knowing where liquidity is much more important than knowing where like fair value gaps are, and here's why. So if we look at this red line, okay, this is going to be your 830 line. So this is the 830 open, and what happens is usually if we go below the 830 open and we're bullish, we want to see a dip below, then go above again. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. So right here, okay, so if I go to the 3 minute, I'm just going to expand this out a little bit. So right here, you see we have a market structure shift. It's not the greatest displacement, but it is decent. Okay, we create this fair value gap. And let me delete all this stuff real quick. And we create that gap, okay? And you can see if we draw the premium discount, and you clearly see that we go in premium, we reject, and we hit internal liquidity. So we hit these equal lows right here. Let me just make these a little bigger. So you can see that was a decent short, and these equal lows also match up with 830. So it's a decent short. But I didn't take it. I showed it in live stream and I said it wasn't bad, but I did not take it. Why? Because it's against my rules to short with equal highs above. We had equal highs above, obviously, which we still have a big possibility of hitting, in my opinion. But you can see with equal highs above, so I didn't short that. But on a paper trade, because ICC sent out the trade today and we have CPI tomorrow, as a joke, I went short 90,000 contracts here, and last second I ended up reversing the position when I was filled, okay? But when I went short, I say to my stream, I said this is a pretty bad short. Why is it a bad short? Okay, well if we look at ES and NAS, and I didn't say this was a bad short, so keep in mind, I didn't say both these bad short. I only said this was a bad short. I said this was decent and could work. I literally blatantly said this is not a good short, okay? And I use profanity while I'm doing so, but I'm not gonna use profanity on my YouTube for business purposes. Just being safe than sorry, but obviously I would use that here to emphasize this is not a good short. Hopefully you know that. But if you look at NAS, okay, look at this. So we hit these equal lows, okay? So we have these equal lows here. We hit these equal lows, and remember what I talked about in my displacement video? We do not get any displacement under these lows, okay? And this is obviously the 3 minute. So now this is when a lot of good traders see, oh, we broke structure here, okay? So we broke structure right here. It was an energetic shift. This is when a lot of good traders see this and they're like, okay, this is a good short. Why is this a good short? Well, we have a break of structure, we have a fair value gap, so like it's impossible not to work, right? Well, this is when I say this. I go, good traders know this is a good short, but there's good traders who haven't learned ICT who don't know anything about liquidity, and there's like a lot of good fib traders out there who know nothing about liquidity, and they think this is a good short because they don't know about liquidity. They don't know that we just hit these equal lows and did a displace under them, okay? I would argue if we did have a giant bigger candle here, then retrace up there, then it would be a better short. But there's a lot of good traders who short this, and smart money knows this, and they use this to kind of squeeze out these traders. So I said this is a bad short. I reversed my position when I got filled just like last second. You can also see at the time we have these equal highs above. We went below the 830, so I figured that we would get a giant candle through this just because of those reasons, okay? And we also have a downtrend line, and usually what happens with these downtrend lines is we break them. So we end up breaking these downtrend lines too. So all this pointed to being bullish, especially I think the number one reason being that we hit the equal lows, okay? We hit the equal lows right here. So just keep in mind, like, I think it's very, very important just to make sure that we have displacement over some sort of low, okay? This low is not enough because, one, we have the 830 here, and two, we have these obvious equal lows in NAS, okay? So you really got to be paying attention to liquidity or else you're going to get squeezed. What often happens is if we get a big candle through where you're shorting, you can often reverse position and we'll usually squeeze a little more because there's a lot of good traders trying to short here, okay? And we know that. And it's also a lot of dumb money, okay? People who use fibs, they short here, okay? It's a good short for a lot of people, but if you don't know where liquidity is, you're not going to know that you're about to get squeezed, okay? So be paying attention to these equal lows, equal highs. Again, you want to look at the displacement. We barely even need displacement under these lows. And as soon as we get this green candle, you kind of know that. During the kind of live time right here, you wouldn't know that yet. But once we start getting these candles, you would know we didn't really displace another short. So why would you short here? It just doesn't make sense, okay? And oftentimes, if you do see us start to squeeze through that, you can often take a long or even reverse your position. You never want to, if you are in a short and we do have displacement, we don't really go over equal lows before, and you start seeing us pump a little bit, then in that situation, I wouldn't reverse your position. I'll just get stopped. But if you notice, like after the fact that we didn't really displace on the lows, we're having a giant candle through fair value gap, then I think it's worth it to squeeze to reverse position, which I've done multiple times on Ninja Trader. But again, you want to really be looking for displacement under these lows and highs. You want to be looking for these equal lows and equal highs as much as you can. And also, like you can notice, we have this low resistance liquidity. It's pretty obvious to spot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I think this is a very, very important video to understand. I always used to wonder why are my shorts failing? This is obviously a good short because we broke structure. But again, you really have to keep in mind, did we hit liquidity on NAS or SPX? Did we go below the 830 open? Just a lot of things to consider. So I think it's a really good example to know when to kind of not take a short setup versus when to take it. So yes, that is all I got for now. Let me know if you have any questions, and peace out.